guys, this is actually my first official episode of living with Crohn's disease, and I was trying to think about a topic of what I would want to talk about first. And I kind of get from what I read online that people who think of people who are chronically ill, there's this misconception that we don't work, or that we are so sick that we don't work. And that could be true. There are a lot of people who are so sick that they can't work or that they're on disability, but the majority of us do work full-time jobs. And I want to make a video for anybody that maybe was recently diagnosed or is having a hard time working full-time, also having a full-time managing your symptoms, because managing your symptoms really is a full-time job. So this is a video just to help educate people on things that you can do in your work environment to help you with living with whatever you have, whether it's Crohn's disease or irritable bowel disease, or whatever kind of, even if it's something like lupus, or if it's inflammatory to your joints like rheumatoid arthritis. This is something that I hope will educate people so that they can work more comfortably in their work environment. So I'm going to give you a couple tips. The first one that I always tell people is that you need to be prepared for your symptoms to just come out of the woodwork, because it happens. I have moderate Crohn's disease, and so I know that I could start off having a good morning, and then at the end of the day, it's like, bam, That's my personality. Your symptoms can just come out of nowhere, and you need to be prepared for that because you can't leave work. I'm a school teacher, so I can't just leave my classroom, especially if you have a moderate to severe autoimmune disease like Crohn's disease, or if you're flaring with irritable bowel or anything like that, or even if you're flaring with, if you have an autoimmune disease that affects your skin. You need to be prepared for any of your symptoms. This is something that I keep on hand in my classroom at all times in my closet. I keep it locked up. But if you have a office, or if you have a cubicle, or if you have, if you travel for your job, these are just things that you can carry with you. And some of these things are a lot of these things are just normal. These are normal things that people have. But this is just more like, it's kind of like a kit. It's kind of like a box of things to make you feel more normal, because we would love to be normal, wouldn't we? That I feel better, so that I don't worry throughout the day, like, oh my gosh, like I'm not feeling well, I don't have this, or oh, I wish I had this, but it's at home. I mean, it's something that I always have on me. So it's just like, it gives you a peace of mind. All right, the first thing that I always keep with me is Tylenol. I would recommend you using Tylenol. If you're going to use any kind of a pain reliever, I would definitely use that, or it's called acetaminophen, I don't know what you call it. I think I'm saying that right, but it's Tylenol. I would definitely take this rather than Aleve or Advil, because I've read a lot about what it does to your stomach. And if you take too much of it, you shouldn't take too much of any kind of a pain reliever. It's really bad for your gastro tract and your stomach. But Tylenol has a less of a effect on your stomach and the acids in your stomach. I don't think it's a bad thing if you have inflamed joints. I don't think it's a bad thing to have a heating pad. You can get a heating pad and you can keep it like underneath your desk, or you can keep it, somewhere where you can use it if you need it, or you can, explore the Icy Hot kind of products that they have. They have all different kinds of things by Icy Hot. I've never actually used Icy Hot, but I have Icy Hot spray. I'm afraid to use it. I'm afraid that it'll be really cold and then it'll burn. Isn't that the point? So the next thing is Pepto-Bismol. My best brand. Pepto-Bismol is probably, in my opinion, better to use than Tums, because it works faster and it coats your stomach and it coats your esophagus. I generally, whenever I have a stomach ache, I might take Pepto, but I usually use Pepto when I have bad acid reflux. Not a bottle that big. That's my personal bottle that I keep in my bathroom, but they have small ones. You could even get like a little travel one. Another thing that I usually keep is ginger ale. Let's pretend it's right here, because I'm out of ginger ale. But I always keep a couple cans of ginger ale in my closet, in my classroom. I mean, who doesn't like ginger ale? But ginger ale is really, really good for indigestion. And you want to drink something, I always drink ginger ale. I just don't have any right now. I need to get some. I am not a big tea drinker, but I do have a couple bags of tea in my closet. I really actually don't mind peppermint tea, and that, again, that's kind of nice for coating your stomach when you're having indigestion. Some people really enjoy tea, and there's so many teas out there that are specifically made for pain or made for indigestion or all that stuff. If you're a tea drinker, I mean, do your research. There's like great stuff out there. And I researched this too because I almost thought about getting one, but I'm not a tea drinker, so I didn't end up buying one. But you can buy off Amazon. I believe they're like $30. It's a tea kettle that you can keep in like a lounge or like if you have an office lounge. It's about $30. It's a tea kettle that you plug it into the wall and it boils the water so that you can make tea without having a burner. Moving on. This is something personal. I always keep Excedrin with me everywhere I go. Whenever I get nauseous with my Crohn's, or whenever I have a stomach ache, I get very anxious. If I get nervous, I get an immediate migraine, and my migraines get so bad that I usually pass out. That's not good. Every time I faint, I tend to like hit my head on things. So the last time I fainted from my migraine, I hit a bookshelf, and I still have a scar on my forehead, kind of like over here from cutting my forehead open. So I need to minimize my migraines. This is just something that I carry. The only reason why I'm talking about this is because a lot of Crohn's patients tend to have neurological issues too, and they have migraines. So I always carry Excedrin with me everywhere I go. I keep it in my wallet too. I keep 2 or 3 in my gym bag. Everywhere I go, I keep Excedrin with me because I get migraines like crazy. I should probably go to the doctor for that, but again, they're probably just going to put me on some really intense medication that I don't want to put inside me because I'm trying to minimize medications in my life. I grew up taking 27 pills a day, sometimes more, and as I get older and I'm entering almost remission, I'm trying to minimize the oral medication that I take because I feel like I toxified my body as a child going through all these different treatments and being like a guinea pig, trying all these different and new treatments, that now I want to try and like cleanse my body, my adult body, and try not to take as many medications and put less things into my body that I need to. So that's why I try not to, I'll talk about this in a later video. Anyway, this is my favorite thing. I keep this by my desk in my classroom. The kids know it's there. The kids know they can't touch it. I always keep gum. I know that it's probably not professional for a teacher to have gum on their desk all the time, but I don't chew it around the kids. I don't chew it around my students. I wait until they go to special or like 5 prep time. And a lot of my teacher friends come in and they're like, "Can I have some?" And I'm like, "Yeah, just take them." I always keep gum. Gum is really good for indigestion, or if you're feeling nauseous. You can carry Altoids with you. Just a side note, these are travel-sized Altoids that are from the dollar section in Target or Walmart or something like that. And they're really, really tiny. I don't know if you can tell how small this is, but this is so small that I could fit this in my wrist. You can probably tell that I have a lot of acid reflux, and I did take Prilosec and Nexium for years. I will talk about this in another video. I am no longer on Prilosec or Nexium. I control my acid reflux through diet and treating my symptoms without putting pills into my body. This is supposed to be peanut butter crackers. These are not peanut butter crackers. I know that they're pretzels, but we're going to pretend that they're peanut butter crackers. I would recommend you getting a couple of those little packages that come in like 4s or 6s. If you're allergic to peanut butter, just go with saltines. Great to keep around. You want to make sure that you have a little something to take with the medication. So that's something that I always keep. If you are really irritated and you need something topical, you can always keep some Vaseline with you. That's if you feel really irritated or if you do have a rash or something like that. There's another ointment that I use, especially when I get really, really inflamed. It's actually a baby ointment. It's called AD baby ointment. It's medicated. I always keep in my work environment a really good pair of shoes that I can switch to at any time. If you're having a really bad day with your joints and they're really, really inflamed, then you definitely want to make sure that you are wearing proper footwear, because everything starts with the foundation of your body and it all sits in your shoes basically. I have these Nikes in a really, really bright color that I wear to the gym, but these are more subtle so that if I do have to wear them at work, it's not as obvious that I'm wearing sneakers. Not that I can't wear sneakers as a teacher. Like, I could probably get a note, like a doctor's note saying, like, I need to wear wear sneakers, but these black ones I think are just a little bit more subtle than the neon pink ones that I have. If you're really, really flaring with your Crohn's and you're having a lot of abdominal pain, wearing a belt is really painful, and wearing tight pants is really painful. And even though you have a job where you have to wear professional attire, I would try to make sure that you have a pair of pants with you at work, or maybe like a change of clothes in case you're in a lot of pain, and you can wear something that doesn't require a belt or that doesn't have a really tight elastic band on it. I can tell you there were a couple years where I could not wear a belt, and I was the kind of kid growing up that needed to wear a belt because my waist was so tiny, but I have really big legs, so like I always needed to wear a belt with my jeans growing up in school, and there were some days where I could not wear a belt. It was just that painful. So that's just a recommendation. If you're a woman that's wearing professional attire or a man that's wearing dress pants, I would try and have a pair of pants that on a bad day you can wear, that are stretchy, that you don't have to wear a belt with, but aren't really tight at the same time. Just take it from me, on a really bad day, you will regret wearing those skinny pants to school, or you will regret wearing those skinny jeans. A couple other tips that I have for you is if you have any kind of desk job you need to get up and moving, I would say every hour get up and move around. The reason why I say every hour is because whenever I was having treatments in the hospital, even though I was in a lot of pain and I was in so much pain with my surgery, it was hard for me to move, they always made me get up every single hour and go for a really short walk. Even if it was just, you know, walking around like the first floor of the hospital, or like me walking around the first floor of my house, or getting up and like walking around like back and forth down the hallways in school, I always took a break to get my blood circulating, because if your body's really inflamed all the time, your joints are going to be inflamed and you want to keep your blood flowing. So I would definitely get up at least every hour, and even just to get up and stretch. I know, especially as a Crohn's patient, and it depends on what kind of a Crohn's patient you are, but my Crohn's disease always affected my body first rather than my gastro tract. I always knew when I was flaring because I would immediately feel like a bus hit me. So getting up and moving around or going to the gym actually benefits me. It makes me feel a lot better moving my body around. So especially if you have a desk job, you need to get moving. If you have a job where you're sitting down for a long period of time, I would definitely invest in a good chair to sit in, or I would look for alternative ways that you can work. They have standing up desks. They're awesome. I know my principal uses one and she loves it. It's a desk that's elevated on top of your actual desk. Like, you can actually use the desk that you have, and then it's like this desk that's higher up so that you can move your laptop up and you can work standing. Another kind of chair that you can invest in are the yoga ball chairs. It's basically a high quality yoga ball that has its own little station so it doesn't roll, and you sit on that. A lot of pregnant women swear by that. A lot of pregnant women tend to use it because it helps like with their back problem. I've even told my dad, who's an engineer and he sits for a long period of time, to make sure that he has a really good chair, or to maybe buy his own personal chair. I know it's expensive to buy an expensive computer chair. They're like $100 or sometimes even more. But if you're sitting on it all day, it's kind of like shoes. It's like you want to make sure that you're investing in your comfortability. And my landlord is mowing. I don't have any vitamin C packets with me, but I would definitely keep vitamin C packets with you. The kind that you basically take in a shot form, or you can put them like a shot, not like shot, but you can put them in your water bottle and you can drink it. I don't like the taste of it, so I just put it in a little Dixie cup. I put it with water, I swish it around, and then I just take it like a shot. That has 1,000 milligrams, I believe, of vitamin C. And I take it whenever I start to feel sick, or if you go into work one day and you realize every other person is sneezing, every other person's coughing, or like for me, whenever I notice that a lot of my students are going home sick, I will take Emergen-C right away. I really hope that he will be done mowing soon. Are you done mowing yet? Yeah, so anyway, these were just really simple things that you can keep in your work environment. These are things that anybody can have. Anybody can put a little box together like this. Anybody can invest in a good chair, take walking breaks. But if you suffer from an autoimmune disease and you're very inflamed, you need to make sure that you're prepared for any symptoms, you're taking care of your body, you're giving your body movement breaks, you're preparing for the cold flu season. I know the lighting is getting weird. I know it's getting weird, and I know it's getting loud. That is a lawnmower outside. That is my landlord mowing the lawn. that's okay, because this is an educational video and this is not a professional video, and it's all good. Yeah. But yeah, I really hope that this video helped you. I hope that it made you feel like your work environment can be a little bit more comfortable for you, or that, you know, your work environment can feel more like a home environment because you want to feel comfortable there. So I really hope that this helps you. Make sure that you subscribe to my channel. I am going to be coming out with more episodes soon. I hope to be talking about many different topics. If you don't know, I was born with Crohn's disease. I'm 27, so I have 27 years of experience. I've gone through surgeries. I've gone through so many treatments. I've actually done pretty much every treatment in every category. So there's a lot of knowledge that I have that I'd like to share with people, share with young people, share with children that are growing up like this. So just make sure you subscribe to my channel and you like this video, and please share it with people that you know that would benefit from this information. I hope this video helps you, and I hope to see you again soon. Bye! Alright. My hair was not this poofy yesterday, I swear. That does sound horrible. It does taste pretty bad. Because, and another thing is, I need to finish my sentences when I speak. Alright, so those were my main tips. I basically gave you, alright, that made no sense. Little it has its own stand. I can't talk. Are you done mowing yet? No.